Hi everybody, I'm Susan Hill. So great to see you here today. I'm a natural dog trainer, and we're going to be talking today about what is natural dog training, why is it so much different than traditional obedience training, and why is it going to help your dog become calmer faster? It's a good question, and I have to begin by telling you my story is basically a quest to find out how to control my two big, powerful dogs. I want you to know that I was just like you. I was somebody that was frustrated. I had two out of control, big, powerful dogs that I couldn't control. And people would just think I was crazy. And maybe I was, but I just love these dogs. I love them so much. And I tried everything. I even had a shaman come to my house and try to get the boogeyman to come out of my dog. I mean, when I say I tried everything, I really did. But I want you to know, I had two dogs, Zeus and Jody, both Dobermans. Zeus was very powerful. He had me airborne a couple of times, completely off the ground. He broke my finger in half. And then he asked me for a female companion. So we went and got him another dog, Jody, a female Doberman. And Jody was really super excited. And she'd get so excited and frustrated because she was on the leash that she'd whirl around and bite me right in the leg. And she did this, I think I counted 42 times. 42 times I got bit in the leg. And people used to say to me, "Why do you keep that dog? Why don't you put her down? She's biting you." And I'm like, I love her, I'm going to find out. And it kind of became my quest. I was driven to find the answer. What's the answer to this? So we started with the obedience training, one-on-one private instruction for 8 weeks. Did no good. My dog knew how to sit, she knew how to stay, and she'd go down and then boop, bite me right in the leg again. I'm laughing about it now, but then it was awful. I would be black and blue, bruised, beat up, broken fingers. I mean, it was humiliating and frustrating. And I think the worst part about it was that, I had an ego and I didn't want to let anybody think that I didn't know what I was doing, but I couldn't figure it out. The teacher didn't really know how to help me with the two dogs, because sometimes when I would take them both out, they would fight. I read book after book. I did so much, and then I kind of shut down, and then we started going to remote locations, way out in the middle of nowhere where nobody would be, and I would let my dogs run off leash, but they weren't really good about coming back. They would take their time. I'd call them and they would be like, they wouldn't listen to me. And I wanted them to be free and have a great time, but yet I couldn't retrieve them. It was terrible. And then one time my dog Jody, she got lost. She caught a scent of some deer or something, and then she never made it back at the end of the walk. And I went home without her. And then the next day I was really scared, because the next day was the opening of hunting season for deer with rifles. She was a brown dog, and a lot of times hunters will shoot a dog. They don't want them in the woods chasing the deer. I was terrified. Now, I went out and searched for her. I got her back, but it's just like this ridiculous, unnecessary way of living your life, not being able to control your dog. And for those of you who have easy dogs, well, God bless you, because my dogs were never easy. But that's what made me stronger. That's what would put me in this position now where I can say, I can teach you. I can be your mentor. I can be your mentor, I'm somebody who was very frustrated. So then after that, we ended up moving to Southern California, and was horrible. Millions of people, big culture shock for me. My dogs were really stressed because I was stressed. They were picking up my energy. We moved to Mission Viejo, and then my neighbors would complain, and I was even more stressed. I ended up putting one of my dogs on Prozac. That didn't work. I don't recommend that as a permanent solution, maybe a temporary one, but it didn't even really work. So then somebody said to me, "Susan, you've got to call the dog whisperer. Call Cesar Millan. He can help you." So I did, and I made a videotape, sent it to the producers. They selected us to be on the show. Cesar came. He was amazing. I mean, he was just like he is on the show. came right in, and my dogs like went from super excited to like, boop, calm as cucumbers. I couldn't believe it. I was in total shock. How could this guy do this, right? And he just did it so easily. And then he just explained a few things, and then the show was over. They had taped it, and I was left to be on my own. And I hadn't really learned what I needed to learn. And he was like my last hope. And then I don't know, I just really kind of went within and looked at myself, and I said, well, what is it that I'm doing? And I kind of figured some things out, and I realized that, it was my energy. And it wasn't like just one thing, but it was my energy I became very fearful sometimes when she would lunge after other dogs. And so she would pick up on that. So that was like one piece. Another piece was that she was out in front. That emboldened her to be more reactive. And then I wasn't following through with the discipline portion, which is just simply using a strong touch, not hitting the dog or hurting the dog as punishment, but just to snap them out of the super excitement and the reactivity, which would escalate into the aggression. And it would escalate onto my leg. And let me tell you, it freaking hurt. I mean, sometimes it hurt so bad I would see stars. I thought I was going to lose consciousness. That's how bad it hurt. And it's a miracle that I hung in there. That just goes to show you what, commitment will do, what fortitude and strength and courage will do. And these are the qualities that you need if you have a difficult dog. So I also realized another very important thing, and that was that I was giving affection at the wrong time and too much of it. She was just perceiving me as weak. My energy was weak to her. And so therefore, when we were on the walks and she was restricted by the leash, she wanted to go see what she wanted to go see. Wouldn't listen to me. I wasn't no leader to her. She was going to discipline bite me. You see how it turned around? So you have to learn how to speak your dog's language. And that's my point. You need a mentor. You need somebody who can help you gain some clarity. You need somebody to show you what's happening, why it's happening, how you are a part of this, even though you don't know you are. And there's no blame, there's no judgment here. But you need to gain clarity. You need to open your eyes and see what's really happening. Now, for me, the obedience training, it did not work. But for some, it does. And I'm not knocking obedience training. I'm just showing you my way. I'm showing you a way that learning to speak the language of dogs will get you results faster. Even though I told you that my dog knew all the commands, she still would continue to bite me. So there was something missing. Now you can certainly integrate this with obedience training. That can be done. But for me, I'm just teaching you my way. Now, the heart of what is energy? Well, it's a substance that's invisible, but it is embedded. It is the source of everything there is. It's in everything. And it is the ineffable and inaudible and the unseeable. It's the very substance and source of everything that there is. And dogs are master readers of energy, and all of animals are, because all animals are not ruled by concepts. They're not ruled by their thoughts. They do have thoughts, but they're not ruled by them. They're ruled by their instincts. And they use energy as a way to communicate. So I want to teach you what that means. What does energy really mean for you? And how to become strong and powerful with your energy. Well, I've developed something called, a term I call emotionalocity. What is emotionalocity? Well, it's using energy as a way to communicate through your emotions. Dogs are very emotional creatures. And they use their emotions constantly. Now, they don't cry, but they do experience grief, rage, anger, happiness, joy, and they can become sad. They have a wide continuum of emotion. So let me show you how to use emotionalocity so that you can speak and communicate with your dog on a level they understand. Now, dogs are the most misunderstood species on the planet, in my opinion. And I'm talking about companion animals, because I don't understand elephants and orangutans. And there are species of fish at the bottom of the ocean that no one's ever seen. So how could anybody understand them? But I'm talking about our companion animals. Dogs are misunderstood. Now, when a cat bites somebody, people say, well, it's just a cat. You know, that's what cats do. But when a dog bites somebody, well, oh, put the dog down. See? Dogs tend to get humanized. We tend to think of them as our furry children, our furry four-legged children. But I got to tell you, they ain't no kids. They can be members of the family, but you must differentiate them that they are not the same species. They have drives and they have instincts purely according to being canines. So we must make this differentiation that they are ruled by instinct. So they're animal first, then their species, then the breed, then their name. So when we just simply think of them as their name, refer to them as their name, they become more human-like. And some people name their dogs a person's name, which even further complicates it. What we do is we have our lives, we are often enmeshed in our stories. Our stories keep us locked in victim consciousness. In victim consciousness, we stay stuck. We stay powerless, and we feel that we cannot make changes in our life, that we can't. But I'm here to tell you that you can. I'm here to tell you that you're more powerful than you ever thought you could be. I'm here to tell you that there's a power and there's a presence within you that needs to be unleashed, that you can become a powerful leader for your dog in his or her eyes. But you have to take the first step. You have to take responsibility for your situation and realize that you have a relationship with your dog, and on some level maybe you've helped to contribute to some of these issues. Now, I'm not blaming you here. I'm not in the blaming game, and I'm not judging you. I'm just simply saying that oftentimes when we have a situation, we want to say it's somebody else's fault, right? It's my dog's fault. It's the plumber's fault that this happened. It's the society's fault. But I'm here to say that if we're going to really change the world, we need to change ourselves. If we want to change our dog, we need to change ourselves, because our dogs read our energy. So what I want to show you is that I will help you get clarity, okay? But first, I need to be your mentor. I need to be your mentor and show you things that maybe you're not aware that you're doing. You may be doing tiny little things that you think are innocent, but yet your dog interprets that as something far different. So everybody, these days I can walk dogs with complete grace, complete ease, and complete confidence. That's me.
Meet my husband Bob and Tia, our big, beautiful 3-year-old German Shepherd. Tia was out of control and caused a dangerous fall while Bob was walking her a few months ago. We couldn't ignore it any longer. We needed help. Susan taught us the techniques to be assertive with Tia and take control. We are still a work in progress, but we have already seen big changes in Tia's behavior. We would definitely recommend Susan Hill as a trainer to family and friends. Thank you, Susan.
So what I'm going to ask you to do today is I'm going to ask you to take action. So here we see 77-year-old Greta walking this big, powerful German Shepherd. And at first the dog was completely out of control, and now she's walking that dog pretty comfortably. So go ahead. Take action. Learn how to take control of your dog once and for all by somebody who knows, by somebody who's your mentor. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.